Hello, and welcome to this edition of Live by Design, a program where I hope you will find content that is insightful, informative, and inspiring. I'm your host, Muadi Dibinga. I'm a life strategist and a motivational speaker, and today is Tuesday, July 23rd, 2013. So how are you? I hope that everything is fabulous in your world. It most certainly is in mine. Although I have to say these last couple of weeks have been extremely busy. I was in Georgia for a few days facilitating a workshop and participating in the annual conference for an organization called Leja Bulela. And it's an organization that's doing fabulous work in the Congo, including having recently built a clinic. You can find out more about them at www.lejabulela.org. What else have I been doing? Oh, I participated in the first annual Shape Up with Shaumba 5K walk to stomp out childhood obesity here in Boston, which is where I am right now. It was fabulous. We had a great turnout, wonderful spirits, wonderful energy, raised some good money. It was a wonderful inaugural event, and I'm looking forward to next year's walk as well as some workshops that she'll be doing throughout the course of the year in Boston initially, and then I have a feeling she's going to take her act on the road, so that was very exciting. I also facilitated my Women's Worth Wellness Workshop, had with a special guest, Linda Wells, the lovely wellness warrior, in Boston again, and it was really, really fun. It was a good day. We learned about raw food. We talked about what it means to be really, really healthy and the different quadrants of health. And I think I'm going to be doing a similar workshop pretty soon because it was very well received and I just have more information that I want to share. So that was really exciting. And this weekend, on July 27th, I will be in Philadelphia. I am a speaker, one of the presenters on the youth program at the National Speakers Association's 2013 conference. I can't tell you how excited I am about this. It's a wonderful organization. It's an exciting organization. If you go to their website, you can see all of the workshop speakers and presenters that are going to be there. I'm looking forward to being inspired myself. But I'm also looking forward to speaking with some young people and sharing some of what I've learned over the last several years in hopes that they can avoid all the mistakes that I've made over the years. How about that? So that's going to be really interesting. Again, it's the National Speakers Association. I think it's nsa.com, but you can Google it. You can find their website. I am really excited about it. I live in Philadelphia. Although I don't really spend that much time there. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be really exciting. Now, today we are going to talk about this concept of what it means to be self-guided, guided by your inner wisdom, as opposed to being guided by the inner wisdom of everybody around you. Recently on Facebook, I posted a statement that basically said that you may need someone to co-sign a loan for you, but you most definitely do not need someone to co-sign off of the decisions in your life. And I was really encouraging the people in our Live by Design Facebook community to examine the extent to which we allow outside influencers to determine what we're going to do. And the extent to which we're often seeking out the approval and the opinions of the minions, is what I usually say, to make decisions that really we have the inner wisdom to make on our own. The thought really sort of came home for me. What really drove this point home for me, I was watching the third part of the trilogy of Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. Don't judge me. I'm a big fan of Lord of the Rings. Every time it comes on television, I watch it, even though I own the DVDs. I love this movie. And in this particular scene, it was a trilogy, it was a third part, or Aragorn, who's one of the lead characters. It's the night before he was to lead the men of Middle-earth into this big battle to save Middle-earth from the enemy. And it was the night before, and he was visited by Lord Elrond. And Lord Elrond is the king of the elf people. And basically, don't laugh. There's a point. Bear with me. And so basically he comes to Aragorn in the middle of the night and he basically tells him, you all aren't going to win tomorrow because you don't have enough men. And Aragorn's like, there are no other men, there are no other people that we can get to fight. And Lord Elrond says, well, actually there are. And he directs him to go into this sort of underground cave or whatever it is to recruit these undead people. They're murderers, traitors, thieves, the dregs of society. And basically, Lord Elrond's telling him that you need to get them, convince them to come and fight for you, relieve them of their debt so their spirits can be free and they can go on to the next world. So he and Aragorn have a little bit of a back and forth, a discussion basically about the pros and the cons and the whole bit. And in the end, Aragorn agrees. So they cut to this scene where Aragorn is on his horse and he's marching out of camp, leaving all of the men behind to go in this other direction. Now, two of his friends, two of his boys, Gimli and Legolas, who have been with him through the entire journey thus far, they're like, we're going. They don't know the details. They don't ask him a bunch of questions. They don't try to convince him not to go. They're like, you're going, we're going. You've been leading us thus far. We trust you. We trust your judgment. This is something that you need to do as your friends. We're going with you. And they go with him. So Aragorn is on his horse, back up straight, walking away from the camp. And all of a sudden you hear all of this from all the men being left behind. Where is he going? How can he leave us on the eve of battle? What is he doing? He's leaving because he knows we can't win. And they start calling to him, Aragorn, where are you going? You can't leave us on the night of battle. And instead of turning around and responding and explaining and justifying and trying to get them to understand his position, Aragorn, because he has heard is relying on his inner wisdom, and because he's already gotten the sanction or the input of the two people that he really values most, he's ready to stand in that conviction and stand in the knowing that he's doing the right thing, and he keeps it moving. Despite the fact that all of these men are just coming at him from different directions, asking him to really justify, where you're going, what are you doing? So I take that scene. Let's put that scene on the show for a second. Now let's fast forward to a couple of days after I saw that movie. I'm in the yoga studio. I just finished class. I am in the dressing room, and I'm overhearing, eavesdropping really, because y'all know I'm nosy, these two women talking about a relationship issue. And this one young woman in particular was just going on and on, asking this girl a million questions about what she should do about her relationship. Should I call him? Should I not call him? What does this mean? Da 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 da. Then she goes on to add, I called so and so said this, and then I was talking to this other person, and they said that. So basically, she had been sort of going around, going around the world pretty much, asking anybody who would listen, all of her friends, of her family, what she should do about her relationship with dude. And so initially, I was tempted to get all in her business. I said, Muadi de Binga, mind your business. I just observed. And at the end of the day, at the end of this conversation, she hadn't really resolved anything, and they finally got themselves together and they left. And then I really started thinking about Aragorn in Return of the King. And it really reminded me of how much emphasis we often put on the opinions of others rather than taking the time to sit in stillness and listen to our own inner wisdom. Now, I'm not saying that you should never seek out the support or the understanding or the input feedback from other people, because constructive, objective feedback from people who love you, care about you, and really know you can be helpful from time to time. I have a circle of people in my family, one or two close friends who, when I'm really in a jam or I really can't figure out something, or I just want to kick an idea around, who I'll reach out to. And these are, I've called them my AAA team, right? They're available, they're adaptable, and there's, I forget what that third A stands for. I'll remember it, but it's my AAA team. And they're accountable. That's what it is. Available, adaptable, and accountable. We're going to have to do a video about that soon. Oh, but I digress. My point is, I call on them to give me feedback. And the thing about the people in my circle, they're not a bunch of yes men and yes women who are just going to co-sign off of all the crazy nonsense in my head. They're people who will really stop and have me think about what is the decision, what's my intention. They ask me really good questions that are in line with where I'm trying to go in my life, and they leave me the space to sort of figure it out myself. They're also not a bunch of poo-pooers and naysayers who just dog out every idea that I have. It's a really good balance. Most of the time, I try to come upon the answers myself by getting still. During my morning meditation, during my morning prayer, I try to listen for the answer. And my friend Rita really taught me not to sit around asking the question in my head and praying around the question, but really getting still and letting my mind and my heart just sort of be open to the answers that are already within me to kind of emerge. And for me to really connect with my source so that I can hear what's being said to me without all the clutter and the noise of other people's thoughts. So in my morning prayer and my meditation, I listen. When I'm in yoga class, I listen. When I'm doing laundry, I listen. When I'm washing dishes, I listen. When I'm on my morning jog, I listen. I really take the time to just really tune out. And sometimes, I've been trying this thing where I sit for 30 minutes every morning. I haven't gotten there yet, but in just absolute silence, just laying down, just listening. And when I get in stillness, and when I tune out the outside noise and tune in into my true sort of inner workings, I can hear that wisdom and I get the answer. Not a bunch of answers from which I have to choose, but 9 times out of 10, I get the answer. And that's because, again, I take the time to sit and listen in stillness. As I said at the top, you may, depending upon your financial situation, need someone to co-sign off of a loan for you. But you do not need the opinions of 1,000,001 people. You don't need 1,000,001 people to co-sign off of the decisions of your life. You have the inner wisdom that is necessary to make sound decisions. The challenge is, are you willing to do what's necessary to tap into that? Because the challenge also is that the more we seek out the opinions of other people about what we should be doing, it has a tendency to erode our self-confidence and our self-esteem. And we can become a little bit indecisive. When we can become to that space, we get to that space where we don't even trust ourselves. We want to substitute other people's senses, other people's smarts, other people's intelligence for our own. And if you don't draw upon that muscle of self-confidence, and if you don't draw upon that muscle of self-awareness and knowing and being able to depend on yourself, it'll atrophy just like any other muscle that doesn't get used, right? So that's the message for today. You don't need to consistently and continuously reach out to other people to figure out what's best for you. And you know what? You might make a decision that backfires, or you might make a decision that's not in your best interest. Right? And that's okay, because that's how we learn. This universe, it's one big classroom. So it's okay for us to fail every once in a while. I don't even like to use that word, but it's okay for us to make decisions that don't always work out the way we want them to. It's okay. It's all right if, I decide to go down this path, and maybe when I get halfway down it, I need to turn around, course correct, and go in this other direction. That's okay. There will be ups, there will be downs, there will be successes, there will be not so successes, right? I don't want to say failure, but you get my point. The key is you have an inner wisdom. You have an inner guidance system. And that wisdom is available to you as often as you need it, as often as you're willing to draw on it. The key is stillness. Be quiet. Shut your mouth. Open your heart and open your mind, and still yourself enough so that you can hear the answers that are already lying within you. Really, it's up to you to create a life that you want. You're the only person that knows your heart. You're the only person that really knows what motivates you. You're the only person that really knows what drives you. So rather than seeking out the advice of everybody and their grandmama's cousin, listen to yourself. Still yourself. Listen to your voice. Tap into your inner wisdom, your inner guidance system. It will not fail you. All right? That's the message for today. I hope that you found this information to be helpful. If you did, send me an email, hit me up on Facebook or Twitter and let me know. If you didn't, send me an email, hit me up on Facebook, reach out to me on Twitter and let me know. I'm always excited to hear from you. That's all that I have for you for today. I hope that this is a fabulous week for you and that everything that you want to come to pass does. I encourage you to go out today and every day, be the best of who you are and bring the best of who you are to every situation and every person that you encounter. Until next time, this is Muadi and take care.